page. New year, new look, new page.
What is up, beautiful people? My name is Sierra and welcome to my channel. That's probably the last time you're going to hear that because I have goals for 2025 and that doesn't include that as my intro anymore. That's not to say that the intro is bad. I just have certain things that I want to do better with, not only on my channel, but as a writer and even a reader as well. My first goal, especially for this channel, is to have more sense of a community. I am grateful for everyone who has subscribed. I am grateful for the views that I get, even if it's really just my mom and my boyfriend. I'm grateful for even you just click on this video and listen to me talk, because I am newer on YouTube, so I don't expect like a crazy amount of number of people to actually like want to listen to me. But the fact that like 95 people actually subscribe to me and actually want to at least hear what I have to say, even the new viewers too who are just finding me, I'm surprised you even stuck around this long. Even if you don't stick around for the entire video, I'm just even grateful that I got 3 minutes of your time, because with everyone's attention span dwindling more and more each day, I'm grateful for even getting that. But I think it's safe to say that even as a newer creator, I just want more of a sense of a community. So I feel like to have that sense of community, I need to portray this sense of community. So having more like behind the scenes posts over here on the community tab, showing more of like my weirder side over here and also on my Instagram, because I've gotten a comment before that I'm really relaxed, I'm really chill. Like I can be, but I'm also chaotic, especially with the things that I say. Not like out of pocket and rude type of thing, but like my opinion can be a little bit like, okay, that's interesting. That's an interesting take for someone to say. Like I can be that kind of person, so I want to like share more of my personality. Also as well too, when it comes to like writing, I don't want to be so self-conscious to share more about myself in my writing and what I want to do with my writing, or even just like sharing like pieces of my writing. Like I have no problem with like sharing like my playlist that I created, or how I write my book, or just like different things about it. Like I feel like I'm very open with just like wanting to talk about not only my book but other books as well. So I really wanted to showcase more of a community. I'm getting sidetracked. So to display more of a community, like I really want to share more of myself and be a little bit more vulnerable. So yeah, like posting more in the community tab. It doesn't have to be like, oh, my new video is out type of thing. It can be more so just like, here's a random tree that I looked at, or here's a book that I'm reading, but here's a sentence that really just makes me go, ugh, I don't know about that. Just like silly different things. And I feel like to do that, to have that, I really need to do that. So there are going to be weird posts. There are going to be very like unnecessary things where you're just like, wow, she's odd. She's a little strange. But if you vibe with it, you vibe with it. If you don't, you don't. So might as well weed out the people now and really like have a sense of community, even if it's like 10 people versus having like 100 people and not really connecting to anyone, essentially. So there's that. So for my intro, it's gonna be more of like, hey family, you know, hi, something. I'm gonna try to figure out something a little bit more clever, cuter, more me. Because I want it to be more personalized. Like I love saying like hello to a lot of people. I love that. I just want to create a sense of community where you like come in, you're like, okay, I know what to expect. Like this is the kind of channel where it's gonna be like, okay, I know exactly what kind of energy she gives, and I love that and I gravitate towards that because I see it all over online. That's how I really connect with other YouTubers, myself. Like I love Kenny JD. I gravitate to her energy. I gravitate towards like other chill readers, especially like thriller and mystery readers. That's how I gravitate towards my people in the spiritual community as well. Like I feel their energy and I feel like drawn to it. I'm like, yes, this is something I want to see more of their videos. I want to see more of their stuff. So it's like I want to showcase that more of myself to drive that crowd of people, you know. I know I'm making sense, but I feel like I have to say, does that make sense? But I know I'm making sense because it's like attracts like, you know, personality attracts personality. There are going to be people that are like, oh, I'm a little bit different, but I do like your take on this type of thing. Like, you know, there's can be people with different opinions, different personalities that do, you know, get along, and there's certain things that we agree on. Like, there's that, but I really just want to showcase more of myself. Another goal that I have for this channel is to just keep working on my editing skills and being comfortable in front of the camera. So that's just another thing that for me to consider, think about, try, do better, all of those things essentially. So finding free online resources, because right now I cannot afford to spend money on any other services. Like I want to do a Skillshare, but we gotta save money. So if there's any like amazing free resources that you know of, please drop it in the comments below, because I can use all the help I can get. I do watch Jade Beeson here, and she has like amazing content when it comes to how to market your work, how to connect with an audience, what's trending, what works, what doesn't, type of thing. And I watch, I think it's Katie Steckley. She has some really good info too. I'm just terrible at following through. So this is my way of holding myself accountable, as well as just putting it on here that whatever you put in the comments of like free resources that I can use for me to actually freaking do it, you know, follow through, bookmark it on my iPad or my not even laptop, well, my desktop, because I don't have a laptop, and actually use it, like actually set aside time each day to actually work on these skills. So that's another thing, that's another goal for this channel and just life in general, is to actually like follow through, because I'm good at starting stuff, I'm not that good at finishing it. Like, I'm surprised I lasted this long on this channel. This is a miracle. It's been 9 months in the making. And even then, like sometimes like I didn't post as much during a month. This is the most I've posted ever since I've started the channel. And I'm still just like shocked in general the fact that I've even done it for this long. This is a complete shock to me, because I thought I was gonna give up like maybe in August or something like that. I didn't know how it was gonna go. I just thought to start, and apparently I'm still going. And I shocked myself. Even with writing too, just like I shocked myself with actually working on the stories that I have in mind. But even the fact that like, even though I've literally revamped my ideas at least 5 times, especially for Leo and Dahlia, the fact that I'm still writing it is still mind-blowing to me. So part of me, so there's something in me that does want to complete these tasks and actually like wants to follow through and actually do it. So that's necessarily the other part of it. All right, so those are my video goals for the channel. Moving on to my book goals. I want to read 80 books. I am not there yet to be like, I'm gonna read 100 books. I don't know if I can do all that. 80, I feel like I can do 80, because last year I had the goal of reading 40 books. I read 45. This year I had the goal of reading 50. I read 55, going on more, because I have 4 books that I checked out from the library that I have to read, because I am not going to return them in the new year not having read them. That's not me. I'm not doing that. Those are going to be read. So it's going to be like, what is that, 55? 58. It's going to be about 58 books read. So I feel like I can give myself a little bit more leeway for this upcoming year and actually say 80, just to like put a stamp on it. Like, it might not be exactly 80, it might be like 75 or whatever, but I feel like that's a good enough place to go, because I'm not one of those people that can just read 100 books. I have too many other hobbies that I like to do. So I feel like 80 is good. And so for my reading, I really want to read more of the books that I have. That's not to say I'm not going to buy books, because I'm still going to buy books. That's something that's going to happen. There's no budget. I'm not going to have a budget for my books or whatever. That's just not going to happen. But to read the books that I do have, I picked 3 books from each shelf. So I picked 3 books from here, not down there, because those are my, this in-between shelf, if you can't see it. It's the in-between shelf. Not that one, because those are like my childhood books. But the bottom, and then from my shelves over here, not including my romance shelf. I think I'm done with romance for a while. Yeah. That's, we don't need to have a discussion about that. I feel like that's just like plain and simple. I need a break from romance. I need a break from, I just want to get back to my thrillers, my mystery books. I want to get into my gothic and horror books. The romance is going to take a backseat. Like, I don't know. It's not going to work with that. I'm not going to work with it right now. So even with the 3 books from each shelf, that still leaves a lot of books to be read. I have the stack of the horror books that I did a video on. I'm going to read that in January. And those are a lot shorter books. So I feel like when it comes to reading my other January books, that's probably going to fly through. That's probably going to be like 10 books in January. But then since they're a lot shorter, it's a lot more manageable. But that also leaves room for library books, to buy books. It leaves room for audiobooks too as well, because I can listen to an audiobook in like 2 days and be done with it. So there's a lot of leeway for that. And also when it comes to just like reading in general, I want to do 2 different book challenges, but they're going to be a little bit different than like the typical book challenge. I tweaked it for myself. So I've never done book challenges before, but I do want to do an alphabet book challenge, but specifically for Black authors. So literally all of the books will have to be written by Black authors. It could be different genres, but all alphabetical, obviously. So I have a few books on the list that I have in my piles over there. Like I have The Other Black Girl. I watched the show, I haven't read the book, so I want to read the book. There's other ones, I can't think of them right now, but there's other ones over there too. I think If Their Eyes Were Watching God, I think I have that over there too in my pile for the year. So that's another way for me to do it, to get through my books, but also when you read a lot more different Black authors, read different Black books. My bad, there is no other one. Those are literally my 2 challenges, which is literally reading 3 books per shelf and reading Black books through the alphabetical way, different authors, different genres type of thing. So those are my 2 challenges when it comes to my books. Drop in the comments below what book challenges that you have for 2025. I also have a few writing goals. So for 2025, I want the first draft of Leo and Dahlia completed. Hopefully early in the first quarter, because I want to do these goals into quarters. So January, February, March. Around that time, I want the first draft to be done, and I want to have at least 4 beta readers. I feel like 4 beta, not even at least, I feel like at max 4 beta readers will be good to have to review the book. So yeah, that'll be something that I will be putting up on this channel too as well. If you are interested in hearing or reading, really, essentially, if you're interested in reading a book about second chance romance of an A and BW couple, if you don't know what that means, that's Asian man, Black woman, that has a lot of grief, loss, redemption, forgiveness, all that good stuff wrapped in there. So if you're in the mood to cry, essentially, if you're in the mood to cry, then you should check out my book if you want to be a beta reader for it. Another goal for my writing is to at least start with Project Fury. I'm calling it Fury because I obviously don't have a title yet. I don't have a title yet for Leo and Dahlia either. I'm just calling it that because those are the 2 main characters' names. But for Project Fury, which is a story about a character who is kicked out of a program that she has longed to be part of, just enough to feel like she's included in her society. So in the society, there are people who are labeled and unlabeled. So the labeled people, they work in fields, they work in like medical, they work in law, they work in education, And then there's aggression and honor, which is literally just the military police force. That's just what I call it. I don't mean it in a negative way at all. But she is kicked out of the education program, and now she is battling to figure out what program she should go into, because if she doesn't get into a program within 3 weeks, she gets marked as unlabeled. And unlabeled people are literally like second-class citizens. They are the ones that work at restaurants, they're sex workers. They are the ones that pretty much do all the measly work that everyone else doesn't have to do. And at the same time though, there are a lot of people going missing. But no one really pays attention because the people going missing are the unlabeled people. And she actually has experience with that, with a family member being marked as unlabeled, and then that family member going missing. So that's that story. So if that sounds interesting to you, I will be talking about that story as well further on in my channel, which also ties into my channel. I want to talk more about my books, some more videos about my writing as well too. So that's my writing goal, but also my YouTube goal is just to talk more about my books, my writing, and maybe like do like different challenges within the AuthorTube community, because I am newer and I would love to just like, you know, kind of be a part of it, figure out like what you guys like to see, you know, in AuthorTube, you know, be transparent and, you know, fun, but also just like my weird self, and you can expect just like pure chaos type of thing. So yeah, those are my 2 writing goals essentially. I do technically have a third one, which is to possibly maybe query for Project Leo and Dahlia. I'm not sure if I want to query for it or to self-publish. So I feel like 2025 is going to be a lot of trying to figure that out, but also building hype for it, essentially. If, you know, essentially like if people are like, I want to read this, like this would be great, I will self-publish it and put it out myself. If I feel like a lot of people are like, this is really something that I would love to read, I would like to read it like right now. Like if there's like a sense of urgency to it, then I'll go ahead and put it out myself. But if there isn't, I would like to query, at least try to query something. I did try to query one story before, but it didn't work out. I was totally fine with it. I knew it wasn't gonna be like, oh my God, I'm gonna make a lot of money and become a famous author from my first book. Like, nah, I knew that wasn't gonna happen. But I'd like to at least try, you know? And I also just want to figure out if I will be a self-published author permanently too, or if I would ever consider a traditional route. So I feel like that's another thing to consider when it comes to my writing goals. It's just like, that's just something to think about during the year, and just really see what I want to do, because I do want to write other genres as well. Like I don't want to write just romance. I don't want to write just fantasy, because I think that's what that story sounds like a fantasy story. I don't want to write just thriller. Like I want to write different genres. Last category for my goals is more of like personal goals. So I want to connect more with an audience. I also want to just connect more with other professionals. So building connections with like other writers. I would love to build a community or even be part of a community of writers on here, on Instagram, wherever. I really don't care where, as long as I'm like part of a community or creating my own community. I'm fine with either one. I really don't care where it is. Yeah, I really want to connect more with like diverse writers and diverse authors, but I also want to connect a lot with Black authors and Black writers. So it's a little bit of both. It's like minorities. Just like really connect with people that are like-minded. Because, you know, I will say I am part of the 92%. So I would love to connect with the 92% of Black women, and also the women that actually, you know, did what they were supposed to do when it came to the election. I'll put it as that. and also just want to be like more comfortable and confident within myself. So like go to book events, go to writing events. Hell, just go out and be out more, because I'm an introvert to an extent. Like I can talk, because I'm talking off a lot in this video. I can talk when I'm very, very comfortable with people. Even with people that are newer, I can still be like my relaxed, chill self, because especially if I don't feel any ill intent from the person, I can feel comfortable just being myself. But in terms of like being in social settings like book events and writing expos and that type of thing, where you're like talking with other people and you're connecting and building networks, that type of thing, that's where I get extremely uncomfortable, because I'm like, I swear I'm smiling the wrong way, I swear I'm looking the wrong way, and I swear my voice sounds wrong too. It's very self-conscious when it comes to that, and I feel like I want to be more comfortable and confident within myself, and to be able to navigate those spaces, you know, just out there in general, essentially. But yeah, I think that's all of my goals for 2025. That sounded like a lot. I think that was like a good like 8 to 10, maybe. 8? I can't count. Maybe y'all can count for me, because I can't keep track of anything. If you need help creating your own goals for 2025, I have a video that I'll add in the comments. Not in the comments. I'll add it in the description box below. And yeah, I mean, I don't know what else to say. I think that's it. So that's it for this video. If you like this video, be sure to like it. I will also love for you to comment what any goal that you have for 2025. It doesn't have to be extreme as mine are. How as detailed. You can literally just put like, I want to read 3 books this year. I'm like, great, fantastic. I'm gonna heart it, love it, everything like that. Just share 1 goal, 2 goals, maybe whatever you want to share. You can drop it in the comments. I'm an open book. So if you want to tell me like, your life story as well too, and like how you want to change that in the comments below, I'm down to read it. I'm down to just like getting to know people. So drop whatever you want in the comments. Just nice things. Drop nice things in the comments. Yeah, and until next time, bye.